अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Bhagavan had blessed a family with an interview. He was conversing and counseling the elders when he turned to the little boy in the family and asked, "Do you have any questions to ask?" To the utter dismay of his parents, the boy asked, "Swami, which is your favorite car?" But Swami's eyes lit up. He said, "Morris Minor." For the next few minutes, Swami described how he had procured a driving license, how he would drive, and so on. The boy looked on starry-eyed. All of a sudden, Swami asked, "Will you give me your car to drive?" The boy smiled gleefully and said, "Sure, Swami." Bhagavan bent low, touched the boy's chest and said, "Your heart is a car and I am the driver."
सारथी तू बाबा, शंख मैं हूँ तुम्हारा.
The same assurance he gave Arjuna and became Parthasarathi. The Lord becoming the charioteer or the driver has a symbolism of immense significance in Vedanta. Atmanam rathinam vidhi shariram rathamevatu buddhim tu sarathim vidhi manah pragrahamevacha. The Kathopanishad speaks of the body as the chariot, the senses as the horses, and the intellect or buddhi as the charioteer. The Lord becoming the charioteer is symbolic of the Lord's words becoming the guiding intellect. This happens when the Supreme Lord assumes the role of the Guru. No doubt then, in 1958, when he was to launch the monthly journal that would carry his message to the world, he named it Sanatana Sarathi, the eternal charioteer. He was not merely naming a magazine. He was announcing to the world the presence of the eternal charioteer in their midst. He was giving a clarion call to the sadhakas. The first few lines he wrote were, "This day, the Sanatana Sarathi starts out on the campaign against falsehood, injustice, viciousness, and evil, the minions of the spirit of selfishness. The army is the Vedas, the Upanishads, and the Shastras. The object is the welfare of the world." His task of teaching didn't really have to wait till 1958. It started much before he declared his avatarhood. His playmates referred to him as Guru, for he was subtly correcting their ways and culturing their habits. Little Sathya did not stop with children of his age. He was even advising elders.
ఈ విధంగానే నేను చేసేది చెప్పేది రెండు ఒక్కటి.
Like this, what Bhagavan says and what
ఇప్పుడే కాదు, ఈ దేహములకు 9వ సంవత్సరం నుంచి కూడాను నేను అన్ని ఈ విధంగానే చేస్తున్నాను.
Not only now, right from the age of 9, he has been acting like that.
ఈ గ్రామం లోపల కరణం అనేటువంటి వాడు.
In this village, there is one person by name Karanam
సుబ్బమ్మ భర్త,
the husband of Karanam Subbamma.
ఈ విలేజ్ లోపల అతనే గొప్ప మాస్టర్, ల్యాండ్ లార్డ్.
He is the landlord, head of this village.
ఇక్కడ చుట్టూ ఉండేటువంటి భూములన్నీ అతనివే.
All the lands around belong to him.
అతను చూస్తే అందరూ భయపడిపోయేటువంటి వాడు.
All are afraid of him.
ఆ కరణం పిలుస్తున్నాడంటే అదురుకుపోయేటువంటి వాడు చాలా మంది.
When the village head summons everybody, they are fear stricken.
పిల్లవాడిగా ఉన్నా, ఇప్పుడే ఇంకెత్తు 9 ఇంతగా చిన్నగా ఉన్నాను.
You can imagine Swami's height at the age of 9 now itself is like.
పిల్లలందరినీ పిలిచేది.
He called all boys to come around.
అతను చాలా చెడ్డ ప్రవర్తనలో ఉండేటువంటి వాడు.
He is one of bad temperament and
ఆ
behavior.
పాటలంతా రాసి ఆ పిల్లలతో పాడుకుంటూ అతను బృందావనం ముందు కూర్చున్నప్పుడు ఆ ముందుగా పాడుకుంటూ పోండి అని చెప్పేవాడిని.
And Bhagavan composed a song. He wanted other boys to sing that song and pass by this village head every day.
స్వామి ఆ కర్ణం కొడతాడు ఏమో అన్నాడు.
They said, Swami, that village head may beat us.
బాడీని టచ్ చేయడానికి అతనికి అధికారం లేదు.
He has no authority to touch your body.
నా పాటతో మీరు నిండిపోతున్నారు.
You are full of my
పాజిటివ్ పార్ట్స్.
And this positive part
నెగటివ్ కాదు.
is not negative.
సత్యాన్ని బోధించే సమయంలో ఎవరు మనకు నిందించడానికి లేక బాధించడానికి అధికారం ఉండదు.
When you are teaching truth, no one any authority to obstruct you or blame you or criticize you.
బాగా పిల్లలు స్ట్రక్చర్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి పాడుకుంటూ పోతున్నారు. ఆ పిల్లలకు అర్థం ఏమిటో తెలియదు పాపం.
Swami composed that beautiful song and also very good tune and made the boys sing and pass by. They were singing.
మొదటి దినము
First day,
లేచి లోపలికి వెళ్ళిపోయినాడు కర్ణం.
he got up and went into the house.
రెండవ దినము
Second day,
అడ్డంగా నిల్చుకొని పిల్లలు పాడుతున్నారు.
and the boys stood there in front of the village head, started singing.
లోపలికి పోయి మామిడి పండు తీసుకుని వచ్చి పిల్లలకంతా ఇచ్చేసి ఈ పాటలు మీరు పాడద్దండి అన్నాడు.
And he distributed mango fruits and then asked them not to sing anymore.
ఎవరు నేర్పించారు అన్నాడు.
Then he asked, who taught you all this?
రాజు నేర్పించాడు అన్నాడు.
They said, Raju taught us all these songs.
రాజు ఈ పనులంతా చేస్తున్నాడా?
Oh, is Raju doing all this?
అని ఒక దినము నన్ను రాజుని టిఫిన్కి రామని చెప్పాడు.
And one day he asked Raju to come for tiffin.
నాకు నీ టిఫిన్ నాకైతే అన్నాడు.
And Raju said, I don't want your tiffin.
ఈ చిన్న పిల్లవాడు ఇంత గట్టిగా మాట్లాడుతున్నాడే అని అతనికి చాలా కోపం కూడా వచ్చింది.
And the village head was very furious because such a young boy asked
ఏ
him like
విధంగా
that.
బుద్ధులు నేర్పేటువంటిది ఆనాటి పరిస్థితికి తగినటువంటి బుద్ధులే నేను నేర్పేటువంటిది.
The teaching was appropriate to those times.
పాట రాశాను.
He composed the song.
మిండగత్తెల చెరకు పోకు ఖండితముగా నీవు కడు నీచుడవుతావు మిండగత్తెల చెరకు పోకు.
Don't run after bad women. You will be spoiled, you will be ruined.
కులము వారలు నిన్ను కుండ ముట్టానివ్వరు.
You will be outcast.
బంధువులు నిన్ను చూసి బయట కొడతారు.
The relations will drive you out.
స్నేహితులు నిన్ను చూస్తే చెప్పుతో కొడతారు మిండగత్తెల చెరకు పోకు.
The friends will hit you, will beat you with the slippers.
ఈ విధంగా చేస్తుంటే చాలా భయపడిపోయేటువంటి పిల్లలు.
And the boys were figure-stricken.
ఆనాటి పరిస్థితిలో ఇలాంటి పదములే వాడికి ఉపయోగపెట్టాలి.
These are the words to be used exactly.
ఈ విధంగా ఇతరులు చక్కజేసే నిమిత్తము కొన్ని పాటల వల్ల, కొన్ని రాతల వల్ల, కొన్ని నాటకముల వల్ల ఈ విధంగా జగత్తులో ఆనాటి నుంచి కూడా మార్పులు తెప్పిస్తూ వచ్చారు.
By composing certain songs and writing certain dramas, he corrected people in those days.
In the epochal letter that Bhagavan wrote to his elder brother, Sri Seshamaraju, he makes an important declaration.
సన్మార్గమును వీడి చరించువారల పట్టి కాపాడుటే వ్రతము నాకు.
I have come with the vow to catch those who stray from the path of righteousness and save them. When he was a boy of about 12 years, he wrote the drama Cheppinattu Chestara, meaning, do people act as they preach? A simple story of a schoolboy exasperated by the hypocrisy of the elders around him. The little Guru had begun showing the mirror to society early in life. A glimpse of his omniscience was shown to Narayana Shastri, a scholar and neighbor of the Raju household at Uravakonda. One fine day he said, "Call that Narayana Shastri. He is misinterpreting the Hamsa Gita." When informed, the scholar was outraged and thought to teach Satya a lesson in humility. But when he heard Satya expound the most complex verses of the Hamsa Gita, humbled, he prostrated before him, recognizing the brilliance of true wisdom. Many years later, in a padyam describing his avatar, Swami would sing,
కాల సందిగ్ధ విగ్రహ సూక్తులయ్యుంటా కాల సందిగ్ధ విగ్రహ సూక్తులయ్యుంటా భాషార్థ గుప్తము పలుకు కొరకు
young Satya gave another clue that he was the Guru of Gurus when his father once questioned him harshly as to who he was. Young Satya declared, "I am Sai Baba." Stunned, his father asked, "What should we do with you?" Satya calmly replied, "Worship me on Thursdays, Guruvar, the day auspicious for the Guru." When he eventually dropped all the veils and declared his avatarhood with an enunciation of authority, he sang, "Manasa bhajare Guru Charanam." Worship, O mind, the feet of the Guru to cross the ocean of samsara. The Guru of all Gurus, the dispeller of lifetimes of darkness, the Guru to awaken the divinity in all, had manifested. And he had not come for any sect, religion, caste, or philosophy. As he wrote in the epochal letter,
అఖిల మానవులకు ఆనందమునగూర్చి రక్షించుచుండుటే దీక్ష నాకు.
he has come for all mankind, not just for yogis, renunciants, or advanced sadhakas. But his message doesn't stick to skirting on the surface of wisdom. As Professor Kasturi beautifully writes, he has come for awakening the sleeping, making the sitting stand, the standing to walk, the walking to reach. He talks to you, and every single you that has gathered there, to every single Arjuna with heavy heart and empty hand, afraid to fight the battle of life onto victory. The first ever public discourse was delivered in 1947 in Karur. Ever since, thousands more have been delivered. Through the monthly journal Sanatana Sarathi, Bhagavan wrote hundreds of articles which were eventually compiled into the spiritual treasure trove of the books, the Sri Sathya Sai Vahinis. Each one of these discourses and articles is an Upanishad in itself, carrying in it the essence of all wisdom treasured and aspired for by mankind. There is no spiritual topic left uncovered. Bhakti, Jnana, Yoga, Dhyana, Mimamsa, Sankhya, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, Namasmarana, morality, Dharma, education, Seva, human values, Veda, Vedanta, unity, patriotism, modern philosophy, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and many more. Each one of these topics is presented in the light of the needs of modern society. He thus donned the role of the Guru, who clarifies and instructs through verbal Upadesha. And for his instruction, anything and everything could become a tool.
ఇక్కడ శబ్దం వచ్చింది.
Here you listen to the sound.
కరెంట్ ఉండినప్పుడే బల్బులన్నీ వెలుగుతూ ఉన్నాయి.
When there's current, the light bulbs burn.
ఇది దైవ హృదయ పుష్పము.
God is the real flower.
పూర్తి విప్పి ఇదంతా చూసి ఓ ఇది కర్చీఫ్ అంటాం. ఇది నిజమైన అవేర్నెస్.
Only when we fully open it and then say it is kerchief, then it is kerchief.
ఇప్పుడు ఇందులో ఉన్నటువంటి జలమునకు ఆకారం లేదు.
Water in the tumbler has no form.
కానీ ఈ జలమును ధరించినటువంటి ఒక టంబ్లర్కు స్వరూపం ఉన్నది.
But the container here, tumbler, has a form.
Swami Amritananda, a disciple of Sri Ramana Maharishi, came to Swami at the ripe age of 85 after having been ordained as a sannyasi for close to 5 decades. He had spent many years studying the scriptures and practicing austerities in the Himalayas. When Bhagavan blessed him with interviews, Swami Amritananda asked a large number of spiritual questions. After each such interview, the sannyasi would say to those around with a smile of satisfaction, "Wonderful! This Baba explains Advaita as no one else has done so far. I have never met any person who could explain yoga so clearly to me. Declaring his delight, he said, "For 32 years I have travelled all over the Himalayas just for this Guru, and now, at last, I have won my race." We do not know what explanations on Advaita Bhagavan gave to the wise Swami Amritananda, but he did not hesitate to teach those profound truths even to little children. Swami walked into the primary school one day and picked up 2 pieces of chalk, one blue and another pink. Drawing a circle with the blue chalk, he said, "This is God." And drawing another beside it with the pink one, said, "This is the jiva or the individual." This is the idea of Dvaita. Then he drew another blue circle and drew a pink circle inside the blue one and said, "This is Vishishta Advaita." One more time, he drew a circle with the blue chalk. Now he drew a circle with the pink one on the blue one and said, "This is Advaita." Similarly, Bhagavan once walked into an MBA classroom in the college, and the words ZBB, zero-based budgeting, were written on the board as the topic of the day. Swami told the excited students that he would teach them ZBB that day, but that would be zero-based bhakti.
పీటర్ డ్రుక్కర్ అనేటువంటి వాడు ఈ బిజినెస్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ విషయం లోపల అనేక విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క
Swami first explained zero-based budgeting as a management method where each budget cycle starts from zero, unlike traditional budgeting that relies on the previous year's spending, assets and liabilities. Then Swami explained, likewise, we must practice zero-based bhakti. When you start your day, stand before Swami and pray. Whatever I have done yesterday, I surrender at your feet. I surrender my bad thoughts, ill feelings and failures. Swami explained, if you do that, I will take care of them. Empty your mind at my feet and make it a zero. When your mind is empty, I will fill it with bhakti. This is zero-based bhakti, he said. He had come to don the role of the Guru for all mankind, young and old, men and women, and instruct them in a manner that reaches their understanding. And when the universal Guru manifests, the whole world becomes his classroom, and he doesn't have to give a discourse to give spiritual instructions. When Swami would take students to places like Kodaikanal or Ooty, he would make it a point to bless each member of the entourage with a personal photograph with him. Choosing a scenic spot, he would stand there. Each one would walk up to him, pose for a photograph and leave, and the next person would come. Swami would quickly point out, "See, God is constant. The others come and go. Jagat, come and go. That's why the world is called Jagat." Or when travelling with them in the bus, he would point to his empty car moving ahead, which would receive the shower of flowers from devotees who thought Swami was inside. He would say, "See, because of the company of Swami, even the car is worshipped." And to drive the lesson further and to add a dash of humor, he would add, "But here I am, sitting with all of you and missing the respect and adoration that's my due." That's the effect of bad company.
Krishna is not one who modifies what he wants to say.
Swami was preparing for a drama to be staged during the university's convocation one year, and some important scenes involved the Pandava brothers from the Mahabharata as characters. One of those days, Swami called the youngsters playing these roles to the interview room to try out the costumes, the crowns and jewelry. The students took a long time to put on the costumes as Swami was eagerly waiting for them, and when they had to change back to their whites, they did it in minutes. Swami asked the students, "Did you notice? It took you so long to put on your costumes, but removing them took much less time, isn't it?" It's the same with attachments. It is more effort to take them on. It's a lot easier to let go. Bhagavan never missed an opportunity to teach a spiritual lesson. Bhagavan hasn't always encouraged those who came to him seeking a mantra. He would say, "Chant any name of God you are fond of." The sadhana most suitable for this yuga is Namasmarana. Once, Professor Kasturi was hoping to elicit a mantra from Swami when he was in Kashi. He had a holy dip in the Ganga, kept a fast, and hoped that Swami would bless him. When it was lunchtime, Swami insisted Professor Kasturi sit next to him and eat lunch. Kasturi sat with a desolate face. Leaning towards him, Swami asked, "What happened? Why do you look so sad?" "Swami, mantra," was all that Kasturi could say with a choked voice. "What will you do with a mantra?" asked Swami. "I will perform sadhana and come closer to you, Swami," he replied. Looking at his own arm and Kasturi's, which were brushing each other, Swami asked in a gentle voice, "How much more closer, Kasturi?" Swami did not just refuse to give him a mantra, but he reminded Professor Kasturi of the blessing that was already his, which was far greater than any mantra could ever procure. But on rare occasions, he has blessed devotees with mantras too, like when he performed the Upanayanam for over 400 fortunate Vatus in 1965. He whispered a secret mantra into each of their ears. In a discourse delivered during the Guru Purnima of 1986, Bhagavan made a public announcement that he was going to grant the whole gathering a Panchakshari mantra.
ఈ గురు పౌర్ణమి దినము ఏ అష్టాక్షర నామము ఉపదేశించడానికి నేను పూనుకోలేదు. ఏ పంచాక్షర నామాన్ని మీకు ఉపదేశించడానికి నేను సిద్ధముగా లేను. ఏ ఉపనిషత్తులో, ఏ భాగవద్గీతలో, ఏ విధమైన బ్రహ్మసూత్రాలో చదవమని నేను బోధించడం లేదు. ఈ పంచాక్షర నామం ఒకటి ఉండాలి. దేవుడు ఉన్నాడు. ఈ 5 అక్షరాల నామాన్ని మీరు ప్రధానంగా తీసుకోండి. దేవుడున్నాడు. ఈ యొక్క విశ్వాసమును మనము నిరంతరం కూడాను చింతిస్తూ, భావిస్తూ, ఆచరిస్తూ, ఆనందిస్తూ, అందిస్తూ ఉంటే ఇంతకంటే లోకం యొక్క కళ్యాణం మరొకటి లేదు.
In the same discourse, Swami explains that there are 8 types of gurus. The Bodha Guru teaches the Shastras. The Veda Guru imparts the inner meaning of the Vedas. The Nishiddha Guru imparts knowledge about rights and duties. The Kamya Guru makes one engage himself in meritorious deeds. The Vachaka Guru imparts knowledge of yoga and prepares the disciple for the spiritual life. The Suchaka Guru teaches how the senses are to be controlled through various types of discipline. The Karana Guru reveals the unity of the Jivi and the Atma. The Vihita Guru clears all doubts, purifies the mind, and shows how self-realization can be attained. Our good fortune is that Bhagavan himself is our Guru, in whom is contained all these aspects. Not just discourses, interviews, and books were a means of instruction for him. Over the years, Bhagavan has written several letters through which he has given his Upadesha, and each one is a precious gem to be cherished for millennia to come. In this profound one, he writes about our divine nature and bhakti as the path to reach it. You, as body, mind, or soul, are a dream, but what you really are is existence, knowledge, bliss. You are the God of this universe. To gain the infinite universal individuality, the miserable little prison of individuality must go. Bhakti is no crying or any negative condition. It is seeing of all in all we see. Swami has written hundreds of such letters to devotees and students in English and Telugu, sometimes in Tamil and Kannada as well. Millions continue to be enlightened through his words. which have been translated into many languages. They discover in them a personal spiritual guide, but his teachings were not merely through his words alone. Bhagavan declares, I am the dance master, I am Nataraja. You are all my pupils, I alone know the agony of teaching you each step of the dance. He would say, the Guru must not be like any teacher of subjects like history, mathematics, or chemistry, who teaches in a classroom and leaves. The spiritual Guru must be like a drill master, who demonstrates with one's own actions what is expected of the students. Bhagavan became that ideal Guru for us. He lived much of his life in public view so people could observe his actions and learn. His very lifestyle was a precept in action. No wonder Bhagavan would often say, my life is my message. His attire is simple yet dignified. A regular traditional dhoti and the characteristic flowing robe that danced and trailed as he walked. Once instructing youngsters about dressing, Swami told them, you must dress in a way that a poor man doesn't hesitate to come and ask you for help, nor should a person of affluence feel uncomfortable to approach you. Through his own style of simple elegance, he breathed life into that instruction. The key word is always balance. The balance in his physical grooming and bodily care expounded how, though one is not the body, it must be cared for as a vehicle for performing duties. Sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam, he teaches. Though one must not be too obsessed with its appearance, keeping it presentable is a way of giving respect to society, and true culture shines in such concern and respect for others. For instance, he ensures his nails are always clipped close and neatly filed so that devotees holding his hands or touching his feet wouldn't get hurt. The youngsters who gathered around him needed to look no further for a living example of disciplined living. Sustainable living and a minimalist lifestyle are catchphrases that have captured the fancy of many in modern times. But Swami verily embodies these practices. One may be awestruck on seeing the grand mandir and the Sai Kulwant hall, which is meant for devotees to congregate. However, his personal living space always remained a small and very sparsely furnished room, and his lifestyle shone with clockwork discipline. His diet was simple and sattvic. A devotee who had observed Swami's eating habits once remarked to him, Swami eats so little, but is yet filled with energy and enthusiasm. Swami must be drawing energy directly from the 5 elements, a technique that yogis of the Himalayas were known to have mastered. Bhagavan immediately corrected the devotee by saying, I do not draw energy from the Panchabhutas. The Panchabhutas draw their energy from me. One day, when Swami came out for darshan, he had a red eye. A student asked him about it, and Swami replied, I don't waste water like most do. People wash their faces while keeping the tap open at the wash basin. Until the soap is completely wiped out, the water keeps flowing. But Swami doesn't do that. He opens the tap when needed and closes it immediately. So this morning, while washing my face with the soap, I opened my eye a little to locate the tap, and a little of the soap lather went into my eye. That is why my eye is red. The soap too had a role in his lessons, and it had played its part that day. Swami would often say, a teacher to be revered as an acharya should himself live his message. When the Lord descends to our plane of existence, he could have chosen any plush city a well-endowed family, or even a royal one, so he could have been taken care of. But he chose a humble setting to play out his life. So he had lessons of fortitude, patience, and selflessness to teach. He taught us how one can live with dignity and confidence even when one has nothing. In the later years, when the devotees were waiting to give him any luxury under the sun, he chose to show us how one can live a life of simplicity even when one has everything. He has not told us anything that he has not followed himself. And that is why merely observing his life or even contemplating on it can purify and sanctify ours.
Datta Guru, Dattatreya Guru.
Once Swami began describing the nature of Lord Dattatreya, an incarnation of the Trinity. Swami explained how he would put his disciples through tough tests before blessing them with his grace. In a profound revelation, Swami declared, "I am Dattatreya. Test is my taste." Years before, when Swami posed for a Polaroid photograph during his trip to Ooty, the image captured was not that of Swami clad in his ochre robe, but it was that of the three-headed Lord Dattatreya, with the three faces resembling Swami's face, his elbow resting on the back of a majestic young cow. Swami revealed, "This is my true form." The word Guru, Swami says, means one who dispels the darkness of ignorance. Guru is also the one who shows the Guri, the goal of life. Guru is also the one who is Gunatita and Rupavarjita, the one beyond attributes and form. His every word is a mantra. His entire life is his Gita. And like Dakshinamurti, even through his silence, he enlightens. The Supreme Lord is here with us as our Guru. He is our charioteer to lead us to the goal.
కనుక ఈ కాలంలో సరైనటువంటి డ్రైవర్స్, నమ్మకమైనటువంటి డ్రైవర్స్ చిక్కడం చాలా కష్టం. కనుక మీ జీవితం అనేటువంటి కారును డ్రైవ్ చేసుకోవటానికి మంచి ఫెయిత్ఫుల్, అన్ని రిపేర్లు కూడా తెలిసినటువంటి వాడు, అన్ని రకములైనటువంటి యొక్క మెకానిజం తెలిసినటువంటి వాడు ఒక డ్రైవర్ ఉంటున్నాడు. ఇతన్ని మీరు డ్రైవింగ్ కింద తీసుకుని పోండి. తప్పక మీ యొక్క కారు కానీ మీ జీవితానికి కానీ ఏ విధమైనటువంటి ఇబ్బందులు లేకుండా తప్పక మీ జీవితం అనేటువంటి ప్రయాణాన్ని సుక్షేమంగా జరుపుకోవచ్చు. ఎట్టి రోడ్లో అయినా కూడా ప్రమాదం లేకుండా కూడా డ్రైవ్ చేస్తాడు. ఏ మధ్య లోపల ఏ విధమైనటువంటి బోల్ట్స్ నట్లో పోయినా కూడా అప్పటికప్పటికే తీసి దాన్ని వేసేసేస్తాడు. కనుక మీరు నేర్చుకుని పోవలసినటువంటిది అన్నింటికంటే ప్రధానమైనటువంటిది మీ జీవితానికి. ఆనాడు అర్జునుడు కృష్ణుడిని డ్రైవర్ గా పెట్టుకున్నాడు. ఈనాడు మీ సాయిని మీరు డ్రైవర్ గా పెట్టుకుంటే తప్పక మీరు ధన్యులైపోతారు, తప్పక మీరు కృతార్థులైపోతారు.